Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Beyond the Data. Here we are back with next another video that is user activity for the past 30 days part 2. It is asked in many of the companies like Netflix, Facebook, Zoom and many others. The table is exactly the same as we used in the previous episode, but I would explain to the new users. The table with the name activity, which is a column name user ID, session ID, activity date, activity type, integer, date, enum are the data types. Now we have to write a SQL query to find the average number of sessions per user for a period of 30 days ending for the this date inclusively rounded to two decimal places. The sessions we want to count for a user are those with at least one activity in that time period. The query result is follows in the following example. So input, we have a user ID, we have a session ID. So we count the unique sessions ID for each users. Like for the user one, we have a unique session ID only one. For user two, we have a unique session ID that is for only one. For user three, we have two unique session IDs that is two and five. For user four, we have a session ID three, but it has an activity on 25th June, 25th June 2019, which is outside our specific scope of date. So we won't be including this user under our analysis. Average sessions per user is basically, as I said, user 1 had one session, user 2 had one session in the past 30 days, while user 3 had two sessions. So average comes out to be 1.33. Now we'll implement this thing in our SQL query. So the first thing is select, then we'll write user ID, then we'll do count, then we'll do distinct, then what we'll do user ID, not user ID, we'll use session ID. So this would give us as sessions from activity. Now the next thing is we want the conditions of date to be incorporated in this. So we'll date if inclusive date, we'll write it as, and we'll write as activity date, and we'll write it as less than 30, and activity date should be less than, activity date should be less than equal to inclusive 20190727. So I hope the code is clear till this end. Now next thing we'll do, we'll group by on user ID. So we'll have number of sessions for each users, uh, unique sessions for each user through this query. Now we have to calculate, so we'll use a subquery thing. So I'm writing a statement select. Now observe it carefully what I write here. I am using null if null, then I'm writing avg, then I'm writing sessions, then I'm writing 0.00, then I'm writing, since we have to round it to two decimal places, so we will be using a function named as round, and then this is used here to have to round to two decimal places, as now we will use the actual what the name of the column which we have to specify. So I copied it from here and I use it here directly. Then from, then we start a simple bracket, then we close the bracket and we define an alias, because without defining an alias it won't run. So this is the whole query. I hope you understood. Let's get it into the submit button and see the output. So yeah, so the query run, and a beautiful output we get in the form of 1.33 as the sample output. So this is achieved. Two things to be kept in mind: if the interviewer had asked you to round off to the two decimal places, you have to include the round function, and you have to include the average in such a way that if the sessions are zero, so the average by default comes zero. That is the thing which you have to include. So this is a way how we execute the query. I hope you like the solution to it. Wait for such more solutions in the future. I'll be uploading all the 70 correct questions, which will be more than sufficient to crack any of the fan companies you will be sitting for any data analyst or data scientist role. Thank you so much. Bye.